got to hear from Jeff King, new Ian
Nice,
Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen. Dare I say the white Ian Cunningham? No, I'm not going to say that. Although I just did. No, listen, new assistant of the Chicago Bears, Jeff King, assistant general manager of the Chicago Bears, Jeff King. Got to hear from him today. And got to hear from Ryan Poles. The Ryan Poles portion of it, it was short. It was to the point. He talked about picking up Darnell Wright's 5th-year option. And I'll say this, already talking about extending Darnell Wright here. And I think there's a conversation to be said, should we be looking for extensions for a lot of these guys? And we'll probably talk about that a little closer to camp here. But, I love the fact that you picked up that 5th-year option essentially to extend the timeline to be able to sit down and hopefully work out a contract here moving forward. I think you when you talk about Darnell, everything that he overcome, and we talked about that the other day, he is someone who you want to have a part of this football team for a long time. So picking up that option was a no-brainer, but hearing that you want him to be a part of this offensive line for the foreseeable future, I think is even more exciting there.
Yeah, you don't try to you don't put those type of players to chance or put them on the market. Like Darnell Wright, the only issue that was in question is his consistency, and he's proven that over the past couple of years. And being a steady force over there, who is, you look at some of the wonderful highlights this past year. The main one that stood out, Brian Burns coming trying to get to Caleb, and he just, what did he one-arm him and just pushed him to the ground like a little kid? Yeah. It's just like, hey, sit down for a second.
The one for me will always be the Jalen Carter one. But Jalen Carter ends up
that's a
stunting outside and goes for the spin, and he pushes him down. He gets to the point where he's like, all right, dog, you got to get up, bro. They're going to call a penalty on me. Let me help you back. I'll get your butt back.
That is a good one.
Because to me, that's the one that makes it that was the moment for me, at least, where I went, all right, good draft pick.
Okay, yeah, he's arrived.
Okay, yeah, he's probably going all pro here. Because to that point, we were like, maybe Jalen Carter. There's a guy, he's already good. Darnell Wright was like, have a seat. All right, now you got to get back up, bro. Come on, dog. Get up a little bit.
That's what you want. You want that assurance, because even though last year we were very confident in everybody that we had on the line, pretty much from left to right. Now you're going into an off season where your assurance is obviously Joe Thuney for as long as he wants to play. Drew Dahlman retires surprisingly, and so you got to try to make sure that Garrett Bradbury is at least the answer for a little while you try to address that in the draft or whatever you think you're going to do with that position going long term, because I don't think Bradbury is the answer long term. I think he's a good stopgap in a sense. But then you got your Jonah Jackson and your Darnell Wright. So you got 3 of the 5 that are, in my opinion, solidified, that are going to be good for quite some time, if you were to, eventually extend Jonah as well. So center, left tackle, those are the issues. But I love that the right tackle position is now a plus on this team, this line, because you got to protect Caleb. We had a really good year where the sack totals went all the way down from his first year, and we have to build on that. And so, tying up a guy like Darnell Wright with that 5th-year option, and then knowing that you're probably going to extend him, that's a good move.
To me too. I mean, you bring up that center conversation. I thought it was very eye-opening today hearing from Jeff King about the perception around age with where this draft is at, because we've talked about that a ton, right? With guys like Akeem Messidor, with if you're talking that center position, a Logan Jones, who me and you have both said, I think for the most part it is agreed upon as well, probably the best center in this draft, but also the oldest center in this draft. I got a chance to ask Jeff King about that today, and I cut that short on the channel. And to me, I wanted to know, okay, well, where does age play a part in this? Do you look at age and say, hey, if this guy's 25, we're out, because in 5 years he's going to be 30, and you look at the contract, and what he said was, listen, it's about the miles that are on the guy, realistically speaking. I think you probably also could say it's about the position, right? You probably don't want. Although maybe that is the way to go for my philosophy there. If you draft a 25-year-old running back in the 5th round every year, you can just get rid of them as they die. just like a conveyor belt where they just jump off a cliff.
Oh, that's
back
to
back. Anyway, but listen, I think what he came away with was, it depends on the production that we see there as well. And so, the bottom line, my takeaway from it was names like Akeem Messidor, if they're there at 25, keep an eye on it. Names like Logan Jones in the 3rd or 4th round, if they're there when the Bears are selecting, keep an eye on it, because those might be guys that the Chicago Bears are looking to bring in to the building. And dare I say, we talked about a ton, right? Should you be win now? Should you be all in? Should you be yada, 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 yada? This is a weird opportunity where you kind of can be that via the draft. Akeem Messidor doesn't come in and go, oh, well, all the sacks that I had, I don't know how to do those. I don't know how to work my body yet because I'm still growing. 25 years old.
Yeah.
He knows his moves. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to figure out the defense. I'm not saying that there's not going to be development that has to happen there, but this isn't, I love the person Courtney used. This isn't Velus Jones. Neither of these guys are Velus Jones. It's not, hey, you got to show me what you can do because I haven't seen any of it. This is, hey, can you continue to do exactly what you've been doing in college for the next 5 years? If you can, then we can talk about a second contract. If you can't, then it's a little bit tougher. But hey, we gotta pivot. We gotta move on. We're only locked into you for 5 years here. So I feel like the fact that they're looking at the production over the age with some of these guys is a little bit exciting in my world, because I think if Akeem Messidor is there, and I actually don't think he'll be there, but if he is there at 25, how do you let him get past you? If Logan Jones is there in the 4th round, how do you let him get past you?
Yeah, no, that's a very good conversation to have, because now we're I think maybe for a few years now, we've entered into a new era of how teams view the draft and the players, whether they're older. I know a lot of teams in the past, and even still now at times, especially if you're at the top of the draft, still want young prospects that they can control for quite some time. But if you're, in the range where the Bears are, I love the answer that he gave, where it's like, you have to factor in, like you mentioned, the injury history, the tread on the tire. A lot of, and I think he mentioned a lot of players are returning to school because they're getting paid with these NIL deals.
Yeah, NIL, you get 5 for 5 coming up here.
Yeah. It's like it's a new day. And so that's the reason why you do have older prospects now coming out of college. And it's going to probably be more of that. But that doesn't mean they're any less talented than the younger guys. It just means going into their second contract, they're going to be 28, 29, 30, like you had mentioned in your when you question them. So I think that's a very good open-minded response by him. And I think that's the route they're going to take. I also heard him say, when it comes to either best player available versus need, I think we got our answer on what they're going to do. I think BPA is the route to go if they don't trade out of that 1st round. I think the way he said it, it sounds as if it's not a question whether or not the best player available is going to be the route taken. Because again, he said, like, what did he say? He said BPA and need, if they're not on the same level when it comes to that position,
you go BPA.
You go BPA, which makes all the sense in the world, because you want the best football player for your team. And then worry about, okay, well, if we got a guy who can at least fill the be a rotational piece, or at the very least be decent at a hole or need that we have, then now we got that filled up, and we got a superstar in the making here because we went with BPA. That makes sense for the overall team. And so I love that answer by him as well.
Yeah, the one thing you never want to do is look back and go, ooh, that guy would have been really good here, and we had a chance at him. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we've done every year. We've talked about this ad nauseum with some of the people that the Bears have passed on, right? I mean, you didn't want to go linebacker because you felt strong enough at linebacker, so you passed on Terrell Suggs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's things like that where you go, well, we don't need that position, so we're not really worried about who the best player at that position is. Like, I think it's different in the sense of quarterback, because there's a leadership that has to be had there that is almost irreplaceable if you find the right guy with the right coach and things like that. And it feels like the Bears truly have that now. But just about every other position, like, if you told me, we're set at left tackle with Ozzie Trapillo, but you look at Caden Proctor, or Dan Richard looks at Caden Proctor and he goes, Ozzie's good. Caden Proctor is going to be a Hall of Fame caliber player. you take Caden Proctor at 25. Because you're not going to be in this position where people are going to remember, dang it, you also had Ozzie Trapillo. Everyone's going to remember, you let Caden Proctor go, but what the heck was wrong with you? And I'm not saying that Caden Proctor is going to be that player, but I use that example because there's a lot of people that say, you know, that we don't need a left tackle right now because in the future, we're going to have a left tackle that's coming back. Well, if he's the best player there, you take him. Because the worst thing you want to do is you go after a Zion Young and you say, oh, Zion Young, he's going to be fine. He's cool. But Caden Proctor's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we feel. Listen, we did it. I love Rome. The person, I think he's going to be a great leader. Need him to catch the ball more consistently. We're not having half the conversations we're having right now. If you took who clearly was a better player on the board on a different position in Jared Verse.
Yeah.
You went with, I want the high side. I want to give Caleb a wide receiver to work with. I understand the philosophy. I agree with it. But we're not having half the conversations we're having today if you took the better player on the board, who was believed to be the better player on the board by most of the people there, but you went offense. Philosophy makes sense, but now we're always going to look back and say, I hope Rome hits, boy, because Jared Verse is a monster.
And that's the thing is you're when you go BPA, you're raising the ceiling of your overall team. Defense, offense, special teams, you're raising the ceiling of everything that you're trying to accomplish when you got a football player who can do whatever, you know, you need him to do on the field, the versatility and whatever his strengths are. And so for me, again, when you talk about, for example, like Akeem Essador, he has the highest floor. Even though he's 25, he has the highest floor. He's already proven himself. You know, you could say he's a man amongst boys in college, but I mean, when you look at the numbers, dude is the Myles Garrett of college right now. Like, he's putting up crazy numbers, and that could translate because, like you said, at 25, you've already understood maybe, you know, how to condition your body in the off season, go through a certain regimen and routine to be NFL ready and pro ready. And so you don't necessarily have to maybe develop that into him as much as a younger prospect, a 20, 21-year-old who's still kind of got the Similac behind the ears in a sense, you know, when it comes to certain things. So for me, like that's the give and take of going that route is, yes, you won't have as much control maybe over a person, but when we talk about the windows of a team winning, it's usually what, 4 or 5 years before you try to re-up. Oh, there's the walking zombie.
I'm just like
the fact that she came in the picture.
I'm just sitting here and I'm just like,
I love that she
it's
just
like,
comes in the out of nowhere.
It's the disrespect of I'm doing a show.
Disrespect.
And you just don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's the I know you doing this show right now. I can hear you.
I can see you.
Clearly speaking loud enough where I'm assuming that this is a Pat the Designer situation. And I'm still gonna come down. What's up, shorty?
Hey man, that's what we gotta do. I ain't got a daughter, but I know
it was a hug. Get up here.
Gotta take care of the daughters. It's all about the family first.
Yeah,
no, but that's the thing is I love the approach that they're going to take. Now, come Thursday, if they switch it up and we trade back, which again, that's another thing he said. They're open to that too. Trading back, trading up. He also said, you know, there's an opportunity for all of those options in this draft. Now, do I believe that? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I love the confidence in just him speaking, you know, in that role for the first time. He said some really good things that gives you confidence that he's not in over his head for this role.
Yeah, I think, one, you know, he's working with Ryan. So Ryan is the one who has the ultimate say on all of this. But two, I do think you look at Jeff King and kind of the input that he gives, and you feel like you're not going to miss a beat with where Ian Cunningham was, right? And I don't know what his philosophies are. I don't know how he's going to go about it. We didn't have that much time with him. I would have loved to ask, you know, what are your philosophies on drafting? and things like that. But you heard it in there, right? There was a couple times where it was just like, Jeff, please, Jeff, please, Jeff, answer my question, Jeff. Like,
it's like, oh well, all right.
It's like y'all know he's the assistant GM, right? Like Ryan's right there. But it is funny, like to see. Well, I would say the similarities in the openness that Ian Cunningham had and how Jeff King is, right? He's like, look, we got our plan, we got our philosophy. I love what he said. Our board don't look like nobody else's. And what you whispering for? She done came down here. She all in front of the camera.
I'm gonna say, Mama came to save her. I was gonna say another thing that and I know Ryan didn't talk as much as Jeff, but just to kind of give it the respect, I thought he did a very honorable job of kind of not glossing over, but mentioning the whole compensation thing and compensatory picks. And
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the video if you agree with me. Bro, he wanted to say F this mug so bad. Y'all done screwed me over. But you know what? We still gonna kick y'all. Hey, hit that thumbs up if you agree.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought. He's like, I'm gonna go the real respectful route, and we gonna control what we can control in the building. We still got the players, because at the end of the day, what did he say? At the end of the day, we're still gonna, go through our process and do what we need to do. So that was the best way to answer it, because I mean, my God, we all know we got screwed. You got screwed. Like it makes absolutely no sense. Like Matt Ryan said it. It's everybody said it. It is what it is at this point.
I'm gonna give you the full screen here. Give the Jordan JC answer on how you would have responded to that. Jordan JC, as you are running the Chicago Bears here, what are your thoughts on the not getting the compensatory picks, and then going back to the commissioner and everyone saying you should have got him, and they still said up yours?
Well, you know what? I went back to the team, and we had some very private internal conversations, and we all came to the conclusion that screw the league, okay? I don't like the fact that we got screwed out of our picks. It's clear that we developed Ian Cunningham. Ian Cunningham is the decision maker over there. Matt Ryan just threw it all in our face. He said he wasn't doing anything to make decisions. He told you clear as day, and yet you still didn't give us our picks. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. Bear down.
Thanks, Ryan. It truly is. Like, I heard Ryan sitting there. It's just like, yeah, we talked to him. Listen, I don't want to gloss over it, but it's unfortunate. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna go about our process. I know he got a punching bag hanging in that room.
With holes in his office.
Just straight uppercuts, just straight gut shots.
Good God. I feel his pain. I feel it.
Yeah, that one sucks, bro, because listen, I don't even want to get back on it realistically, but it sucks because it's like, I can see what's going to come from it.
Mm-hmm.
You will never have a black final, what are they calling it? Final decision maker, essentially. That's not what they call it. Some the final say or whatever. The guy that makes the final decision. You'll never have one of those again. Because why would I give you picks? Why would I? All the women in this house just disrespect this show. Lulu just walk in the screen.
I need love too.
The lights are on because of me. The lights are on because of me. Y'all know this, right?
That's hilarious.
I'm the one selling the records. Anybody coming to see you, Lulu? They kind of are. But no, like it's sad what it's going to become now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It truly is. And like, maybe the Falcons weren't being disingenuous in this, but everyone else will, and everyone will steal the cookie and then hide their hand. And we already know that's coming. So have fun with that, NFL.
Whatever. Yeah,
it is what it is. Like you said, Super Bowl or bust this year.
That's right.
And by bust, I mean bust you upside your head. That's kind of where we're at with this. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. The show and love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We are 3 days away from the draft? We're at Tuesday, 2 days away from the 2 days away from the NFL draft. We'll be live with the full team in the building for the draft. I'll have the screen up here. We'll have a nice doom 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 on the board. I mean, and the Chicago Bears will get all the way to 25, and with our luck, they'll trade out of it after we're live for about 3.5 hours.
That'll be great.
There will be food here. We will also have a Jordan sleeping cam. You might want to switch spots. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might want to switch spots. We might need to get you a regular chair.
Somebody at my job literally says they know you from ESPN 1000. They're actually a Packers fan because I work with a lot of contractors from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They literally said they know you, and I told them that about our show. They said they seen an episode where I was asleep, and I was just like, I wasn't asleep. I was playing. I wasn't asleep.
Hey.
I never sleep.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you ever saw the video, but it is still on social media.
Oh yeah, I did see you.
We've got the preview video of you asleep. You can't say I wasn't asleep.
No, I didn't. No, that one. I was knocked out. That you don't make that noise.
It's the choking and almost dying that seems to always happen. Get a CPAP. Do they make a travel CPAP one that you could just have portable with you for naps in the car? Do they?
I don't know.
JC might need that.
Idea.
JC might need that one. Before we get about here, Dan Tanner with a super chat said, "What up, fellas? Yep, Billy's gone. It's gonna be hard to find a coach that chews gum with that kind of intensity." We won't have any more bubblegum Billy. I can't believe he was here all this time and didn't get a Wrigley sponsorship. That is crazy. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. For the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. This is your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
Yes, sir.